All right, boys, March 26th, 2025, here on a Wednesday, the day before the NCAA tournament resumes with the Sweet 16. It is 52 degrees out, chilly, windy, mostly sunny, and current water temperature at the beach area, 52.5. 5.5 degrees away from that big target temperature, and we are just hours away from the target date of the first beach visit of 2025, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. Highs of high 50s, beach area, it's over. So we're not doing it. Friday is still a slight possibility. All right. Last night's featured presentation was Never Ashamed, 1984. This one picked by Free Jack. I really like how we're knocking off a lot of these films that I had up on the whiteboard for the off season of movie viewing. This has been great. We're just knocking these things out. This was definitely one of them. This is a perfect late March video or feature to watch, starring Tim Elwell. I always say Ewell, but Tim Elwell as Tim Hughes. And then we have John Jankovic as Marty Sullivan. I like this character a lot. I like Marty Sullivan. He's kind of the bad guy. And then Tim is kind of the good guy. He's a kind of a Scott Baio looking clone. And so, rock and roll music today. All right. They even say he looks like Scott Baio. He's the main character, Tim. They're related to Tim Gene. And his mother is played by Denise Leahy. His father is played by Stan Adams, who was like kind of like a reporter, TV host guy who's like, I guess he's kind of an atheist, and the mother kind of is too. They're not really church people. And then you have Lori Overdorf as Tim's semi-love interest as Becky. All right, so Becky Olson, that might be a nickname I'll give to Becky next time she plays trivia. And those are the only ones credited on IMDb. There's a bunch of other credits if you watch the film on YouTube. They have a ton of other credits on there, like people in the school and everything. There's a lot of names that got credited, including Brian McCann, which is no relation to the catcher of the former Braves catcher, and then Jenny McCarthy, who is not the same Jenny McCarthy, Playboy. All right, and then the plot is Tim Hughes goes through a transformation from juvenile delinquent to a kid who has seen the light, in quotes, when he and his friend get caught stealing an ice cream truck. That's right, stealing an ice cream truck. Tim tries to straighten himself out. He meets his parents, that's not what happens. His parents send him to a Christian camp over the summer. Okay, he meets a girl, and then so he goes back to school the next year. He meets a girl who invites him to get together of Christian kids after class. Tim starts reading the Bible and brings it to school, but is ashamed that all of his friends will find out, his juvenile delinquent friends will find out and ridicule him. When his new friends invite him to Bible camp, his talk show host father is opposed, fearing that his son may return home as some kind of Bible banger. And Tim's mother notices a personality change in him. At the camp, Tim's loner buddy starts canoeing on the river, but runs into trouble on the rapids, and Tim goes off to search for him, risking his own life to save his friend. They had the plot kind of wrong there. They don't show anything about the summer camp he went to. Just little bits and pieces, little shots of what he's doing there and stuff. But the funniest scene is that ice cream stealing scene at the beginning of this film. The film clocks in at 62 minutes. And it's hilarious because Tim looks nothing like a juvenile delinquent at all. Doesn't even act like one. But in the scene, they're like hiding in a field or something. And there's an ice cream truck in the middle of nowhere, like on some country road, stopped, and like he's selling ice cream to somebody who just wanders by, and they're hiding it. And the two friends, Tim and the other guy, played by John Jankovic, Marty Sullivan. So they're like, this is when he's a juvenile delinquent. They're like hiding in the wheat field or something. Then the guy, like, after he makes a sale with the ice cream, he's like wanders off to like take a leak or something. And so they run over to the ice cream truck and they steal it. And then what do? They just take it for like a joyride and then stop it at some lake where there's a bunch of little children. And they get out and they start giving ice cream to the children. Like, how is that delinquent stuff? Hilarious. Like, that's going to be that's your setup for him being a delinquent. Just funny stuff. This is directed by Edward T. McDougall. So he directed 3 films. This was one of them. This one's good. And then the one before was 1982's, the 1982 the film, the Michael Madsen film, Against All Hope. And then there's another one called Geronimo, which I think is like 1987. Not very good. That film's not very good. But Against All Hope is one that I love, and that's one that's in our spring season of movie viewing. So this sets up nicely an Edward T. McDougall directed film. Okay, and I think his mother or somebody is in this as well. There's a McDougall credited on the ending credits. So this is a good pick by Free Jackballs. It's not my favorite Christian movie. It's not a bad one. It's got enough humor in it, and I love the house. I love that he comes home and eats junk food, and it's a weird looking setup in the house and stuff, and it has kind of a goofy ending. The guy is real charming, the main character. Seems like a real sincere, like real believable that his transformation. But the juvenile thing, you can't see him as being a juvenile at any point in his life. He just always seemed like, a good cookie cutter type, but they didn't do a good job of like setting it up, of showing him being really at his worst. But I like Never Ashamed, 1984, last night's feature presentation. And we have 2 nights left before we start the new year on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. And then tonight we have back-to-back Frank Addington channel premiere videos. The first one will be setting up the new year movie watching, the spring season of movie watching. I will break it all down for you. The spring season of movie watching, and after that I will have the Major League Baseball 2025 season predictions for you. So I'll run down the division standings, the League Championship Series, and the World Series winner. All right, so I'll see you then on the Frank Addington channel tonight on this early spring day. You can see nice color coming in to some of these trees over here, looking nice and lime green. All right, boys. And we will also do a one for all the marbles. Before that, I'm gonna load the box with some of these films for the off season of movie watching, and maybe a couple other ones. We're gonna try to knock out as much as we can off that board before the spring season and the new year starts. And then we'll take some of those films that we did not watch in the off season, push it over into the new year. Some of those are that are worthy enough to be in the spring season of movie watching. All right, boys. See you then.